Okay, Oscar, thanks for getting this in. And I know it may feel, I don't know if this is how you felt, but it may feel tedious that I won't look at an assignment until it's all put together in one multi-page PDF. However, normally this class is filled. Like usually I have about 18 students in it. And so if I have, even just a few of them submitting, let's see here, you originally had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 files. You can imagine that could just get really cumbersome, especially because a couple times a term, I like to open up the entire class's assignment, and so that I can do one big group critique, so that you can have the experience of comparing your work to other people's, in a positive way. So anyways, that's why I like to nail this really quickly, make sure that everybody's turning everything in the way that we request, because it just makes the whole classroom run a lot more smoothly. That being said, this looks great. I'm on your last image here. Then there's that, and that, and that. And by the way, thank you. I don't think it was required in the assignment, but thank you for giving a thoughtful write-up of your experience using your light meter. That was actually really helpful for me. I debated about whether or not I wanted to require a write-up for this assignment, but I decided not to press it, because I really just wanted people to get out there and use their meter and not worry too much about submitting extra files with their images. I really wanted them to use the meter, and then, like I said, figure out how to put together the PDF so we can have all that running. Next week I'm a lot more specific about write-ups, but your write-up is really great, and it gives me a good sense of your experience using your light meter. And I find, tell me if I'm wrong here, but I find when I'm using my handheld meter, I find it really most helpful in incident mode. And I only have what I would consider perfect results with it in reflective if I'm using it tandem with a gray card. Meaning, putting a gray card in the quality of light that my subject matter is in, and then metering that gray card. Without the gray card, I find that it's just giving me kind of readings that I'm not going to end up using. So I really love it for incident. I think that it's a really fantastic tool in incident. And let me know, how do you feel about that, if that was your experience? And then for a lot of the rest of the class, we really focus on incident metering, because we find that it's a lot more detailed. And with incident metering, you can get really clean ratios without having to carry around your gray card all the time as well. So anyways, compositionally, I would say these are great. You definitely have a nice eye for clean shots. And I really enjoyed that you set yourself up a shot list. You decided what you wanted to capture, and you just put yourself on task to go do that. And these are really nice. I don't know if you added any posts to this, but the color is gorgeous. Also, by the way, and I'm going to try to remember to mention this to everybody, no post-processing for these images, please. What we really want you to do is use the meter and the camera for this whole class. Use the meter and the camera together to get the exposure that you want, and of course, always be practicing your compositional skills through the viewfinder. So no post-processing, none. By edited, we mean your image should read upright, And I mean, you can crop, if you really find that you accidentally got a little piece of compositional uselessness in your frame, you can crop that out, but that's it. And it doesn't look like you applied any post-processing here, actually. It looks like this is a very clean, straightforward presentation. Really nice. This one, I would say, is a little dark. Let me see if I can find it in your contact sheet. Yeah, there's only one version of this, which is fine. I would say it's a little dark, and so I'm assuming that you had this one in reflective, and then you were probably metering the water, is my guess. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. I don't know. So you're probably metering the water, and so the meter is giving you results that will yield a medium gray in your final image. So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the local value of this water here. I know it's a couple different colors, but when I squint my eyes, it's basically medium gray. So I think you're probably in reflective metering the water. And that's probably why this is the only dark one. The rest of them seem spot on. I love this tree. And the way that the shadow is caught on this side of the tree, just really gorgeous. And all of these trees just are so pressed to that in that direction. It must be that like a wind, some kind of precedent wind. I don't know what they call that. I mean, you have a wind that generally comes from one direction. I have it here at my house too. But anyways, well done. Thanks for resubmitting it the way that I asked. It's perfect this way. This is exactly what I want. And then thank you for the write-up as well. Next week, write-ups will be required, but it's duly noted that you added it in here without it being a requisite. I really appreciate that. Okay, Also, next week, I'm going to require that you have equipment shots in your contact sheet, or enlarged views, I'm sorry, enlarged views of your equipment shots. So that means next week we'll also be required to have lighting setup shots and a shot of how you are using your light meter for the shots that you acquire that you think are your best. I know it sounds tedious, but it's such an important learning tool. Okay, thanks again, Oscar. I really appreciate it. And I will see you in the next assignment.